And you need to ask yourself, am I ready for the great awakening? Am I ready for the great revival that we pray for? If I'm in survival mode, then we must get ready for the great war.
Welcome to the Gathering Place. This is Dr. Nigel Big Pond. It's good to be with you again. I have a particular message to you, but before we get into that, I want to read an excerpt from the Might to Fight book, which talks about the seasoned warriors on page 122. And you need to get this Might to Fight book. It's a good book. It just helps you every day. Maybe you're having some rough days, sad days, bad days, and you can just turn to a new page and it will give you a lift, a tremendous lift. And so in this page 22, Seasoned Warriors, to everything there's a season, a time for every purpose under heaven. That's Ecclesiastes 3:1. And seasoned warriors walk with authority. They understand peace and joy through all seasons. They have joy to give to all who will receive it. They have peace to fulfill it, the purpose of the land. Enjoy your season, only for a season, for there is much to do in this new season to come. And I believe that wholeheartedly, that in 2022, it's going to be a tremendous year, a breakthrough, regardless of what government's doing, regardless of the socialist acts that's taking place, or the one world order, if you want to call it that. People seem to forget God is still God. Even our First Nation people, before the Bible, that he couldn't read the Bible, didn't know of a Bible, they knew there was a God. So common sense tells you that there is a God. Even our people, who some would deem illiterate to the fact that they didn't, but they knew how to live off the land. They knew how to survive. They didn't have all this disease that we have nowadays because they lived off the land. Certain roots, certain leaves, certain things that they partook of allowed them to live a long life and to be strong. And so many people don't know that, don't realize that, maybe have problems with that, but nevertheless, it's good. So I want to call this message, and before I get into that, let me make sure that in March that we're getting ready to have another SWAT training. You don't want to miss it. We have a special guest trainer or speaker, if you will, coming out of the Lakota reservation, which is very, he works with children, he works with young people, and he's very knowledgeable, and he knows history. And so you don't want to miss that. That'd be the first week of March, which I'll get you the date here in just a minute. But anyway, it is a time that you need to be a part of our SWAT here at Two Rivers Native American Training Center, because there's so much involvement. And that's going to start the 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, and 11th, and so of March. And so you want to contact us at 2-rivers.com. That's the number 2-rivers.com, and 2-rivers.com, or email us at 2rivers@olp.net, and or call us at 918-366-6735. That's 918-366-6735, and our training is about land issues and what's going on in this day and time with this socialism, communism, and colonialism. It's all there, and technicolor, if you will. But, and the reason I'm saying that because I know history about our people. We've been through that, about a socialism on reservations, and with the boarding schools, the reservations, the Removal Act, the Trail of Tears, all these things was a type of socialism. Of course, you don't hear people talk about that. You don't hear people preach about that. And I'm going to speak about it, not to condemn this country that I love, but to operate in a time frame, a time that is needed, of a great understanding. So what I'm going to call this message is always go forward, never look back. Now, you may or may not have heard me sing that song. It's a Yuchi song that they sung on the Trail of Tears in the 1800s, when the Removal Act from Mississippi, Florida, Georgia, Tennessee, all Alabama, all those areas, when they moved the tribes to Oklahoma. And the purpose of that song was that our people said, you go forward, never look back. Don't look back at the past defeats or the past victories. Just don't look back at those things. Continue to go forward to a better day, a newer place, a newer land. Always go forward, never look back, and think about all your bad past, of the things that you left behind and you're going to miss, and all this. And even the victories that you had, because there's newer victories. And we're going to prove that in this message today. Isaiah 43:18 says, remember not the former things, or those peculiar things, nor consider the things of old. Behold, I am doing a new thing. Now it springs forth. Do you not perceive it? I will make a way in the wilderness, or in that barren place, and rivers in the desert. So regardless of what it looks, it might look pretty bad in this season. And false rivers and false wilderness. Because God is God. He's the creator of all things. Man didn't create this earth. They couldn't create nothing. They can make things. They can build things, but they can't create anything. But we have a spirit of creation, spiritually, to do many things, to survive, number one, to love, number two, and to exist, number three. We have that ability. And so it is a time that we need to love and exist and survive. And we will. If we trust in the Lord, if we trust in man and what man can provide for us, and don't worry about anything. I'll give you money. I'll give you food. I'll take care of your health. I'll do all these things. But they can't, people. It'd be nice, I guess, if they could, but they can't. They can't and they won't. We've already been down this trail before. This is nothing new to the first people of the land. And James Watt, that worked with President Reagan, made a statement: if you ever want to see failed socialism, go to an Indian reservation. Of course, he got in trouble for saying that, I think, but he said it anyway, irregardless. So what this passage is saying, remember not the former things, those peculiar things, nor consider those things of old. Behold, I'm doing a new thing now. This is God doing a new thing, because he's the creator of all things. He's the creator of all things. Now it springs forth, do not be perceived. Do you not perceive it? I will make a way in the wilderness, in those barren places. God will. And rivers in the desert. Bring water forth in those dry places. And he has the ability to do it. Man does not. And they cannot and never will. We exist because of God before you. Who can be against you? Going forward is almost a completely useless phrase. Always go forward, never look back. The song that they sung on the Trail of Tears. Now, there is a reason that we sang. There was a reason that we sung this song, our people. It says, Hele agano, hele ofane. And what really that means, let everyone come, let everyone go. Let everyone come, let everyone go. Then it goes on to say, Sanachi Nayo. Nayo hele sana yano. And what that means is Christians. Now here's an old ancient song. It really doesn't mean Christians per se. It means those that believe in God, the Creator. Do not fall or turn back. Those that believe in the Creator, God, which we call Gohanthony, do not fall or turn back. Now this is an ancient song. This is not a song that would have known your top 10 number one song. This is way back in the 1800s that they sung the song. And most of I'm going to say all the tribes, their songs they sang was about God, creation. The stories that our elders told us were about God, creation. So it's hard, and I appreciate our elders continue to keep the tradition of the storytelling and carried it on. Because, you can only get so much out of history books, and you can only get so much out of Google and all those things. You're just going to get what man deems fit to put in there. But when you live it, when you walk it, it's totally different. It's a story. In other words, we know the story. Now, supposedly they were supposed to bring the message, and they did, but they destroyed the message too by, well, the Trail of Tears, by removing, by lying and deceiving. You can't tell people about Jesus and turn right around and do just the opposite of what he came here for. And that's why today it is said that there's around 9 million Native American people in America. And less than, we're not sure about this, I'm going to say less than 6%. I've heard as low as 3%, but then I've heard other ministers say 6% of them are saved. And then the reason they're not saved, and I think the reason people give up on them, because they don't understand their culture. And so they don't minister to them. And so if you say I'm going forward, that means you're going into the future. But it's very redundant, as one could just as easily say, I am. It seems that many people want to make possibilities. In other words, if you say you're going forward, that means you're going into the future things. And in this case, the future things of God. You don't understand God. I can't take the past into the understanding of God. Whether it's good or bad, whether it's victory or defeat, you don't want to take that into the throne room of God. You've heard me talk about on here at Two Rivers, here in the great city of Mounds, Oklahoma here, where we have the sacred place here. I tell people to go up there and sit down, shut up and listen. Because you can't take the old ideals, old prayers, old problems and then expect God to do a new thing. He wants you to just get rid of all that. I'm about to do a new thing in the future of your life. Now, Isaiah 65 is a tremendous passage, 17. It says, new heavens and a new earth. For behold, I create new heavens and a new earth. And the former things long ago shall be remembered or come into mind, shall not be remembered or come into mind. We must walk in the new heavenly and earthly things of God, not to have our attention on conversation. And so, now, this doesn't mean that you're not going to remember things. You will remember them, but you're not to remember or allow your mind to dwell on them. I can remember bad things that happened to me. Everyone can. With this resolution of apology that I've been working on since 2006, was passed in 2010, but never was released. And I think a lot of our people, the Native people, think, well, you're wanting us to forgive the nation for all that they did and forget. And I've got to tell you, no, I'm not asking you to forget. You'll never forget. You just don't forget things like that. You don't forget bad things or good things. What he's saying is don't let your mind carry them around all the time. There's sometimes I don't even think of bad things that happen to me. There's sometimes I don't even think of good things that happen to me. But sometimes it comes to my mind, but I don't carry it around all day long, 24/7, 365 days out of the year. So we must walk in new heavenly and earthly things of God, not to have our attention on conversations of the old things. I love to get around people and some of my people and have them talk about the old days and the old people and what they used to do and how they used to overcome sickness. My grandfather never spent a day in the hospital. Of course, there wasn't very many hospitals in those days, but he would just work it out. He'd go out in the garden or the fields and just work it out, sweat it out, whatever it took. It'd get out of his system because he didn't think nothing about it. He didn't dwell on those days, good or bad. He didn't dwell. He just carried what was good. 2 Corinthians 3:10 says, indeed, in this case, what once had glory and has come to have no glory at all, because of the glory that surpasses it. For if what was being brought to an end came with glory, much more will what is permanent have glory. Now let me read that again. Indeed, in this case, what once had glory, now listen to me, once had glory has come to have no glory at all. Once had glory has come to a place of no glory at all. Why? Because of the glory that surpasses it. For if what was being brought to an end came with glory. So there was a greater glory. It doesn't mean glory doesn't exist. It means that the glory I had yesterday is gone. But the glory I have today, it surpasses that glory. Much more will what is permanent have glory. So glory is the glory of God will always be. There's nothing you can do about it. The glory of God, if you allow it, will always be. Will always be. Now, 2 Corinthians 3:10, I like this. In the Amplified, it says, indeed, in view of this fact, what once had splendor, the glory of the law in the face of Moses, has come to have no splendor at all because of the overwhelming, once again, glory that exceeds and excels it. In other words, the glory of the gospel in the face of Jesus Christ. The glory of the gospel in the face of Jesus Christ is greater than yesterday's glory. Because this glory of the gospel is in the face of Yeshua HaMashiach. So we have that ability, glory to glory. That's the reason you can go from glory to glory to glory to glory. But we don't dwell on yesterday's glory. I don't dwell on last year's glory. I keep going on, moving on, doing things. Because there's glory, 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 glory. I can't, if I'm going upstairs, I can't go downstairs to get upstairs. Even though I know there's glory. There's glory at step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4. There was glory. But now I need to go to step 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. I can't dwell in yesterday's glory. In 2 Corinthians 5:17 is a good illustration of this. Therefore, if any person is engrafted in Christ, or the Messiah, he's a new creation. A new creature altogether. The old or previous moral spiritual condition has passed away. Behold, the fresh and new has come. And I like that part. Behold, the fresh and new has come. Has come. Behold, the fresh. And surely you would want fresh food. Surely you want everything to be fresh and new. It's like getting in a brand new car. It has its own smell. It doesn't smell like your used car. It has its own fresh smell. Behold, the fresh and new has come. All those other things have passed away, have gone away. Therefore, if any person, if we're engrafted in Jesus Christ, Yeshua, the Messiah, we're a new creation. We're a new creature altogether. And all the old, previous moral, spiritual conditions have passed away. Notice it says moral and spiritual condition has passed away. It's gone. It's dead. Oh yeah, we can still remember it, but it's gone. Behold, the fresh and new has come. And I like that. Behold, the fresh and new has come. Has come. Now, in Ezekiel 36, 26, 28 is a tremendous passage where it says, I will give you a new heart, a new spirit. I will put within you, and I will remove the heart of stone from your flesh and give you a heart of flesh. And I will put my spirit within you and cause you to walk in my statutes and be careful to obey my rules. You shall dwell in the land that I give to your fathers, and you shall be my people, and I will be your God. This teaching, I'm going to be teaching on it probably 2 or 3 more times. Always go forward, never look back. Hele agono, hele ofana. And what it's talking about is the culture. The reason I'm doing this is because of the culture. See, most of you watching me have lost your culture. Wherever you came from, whether Germany, Ireland, Africa, wherever, you've lost it. You can't speak your language. Many of them can't speak their language. They've just lost it. And I'm not belittling anybody. It's just the way it is. But with the First Nation people, majority of them, I'd say over half of them, still can speak their language. And I'm talking about many tribes, not just one tribe, but many tribes can speak their language or a portion of their language, or they can sing their songs, or they can dance their dance. And so that's the reason I'm talking about this. And we're going to get into some huge things about America and what's taking place in this day and time. So you stay tuned to the gathering place. So this is Dr. Big Pond Sanatohi. God bless you.